Georgetown Primary School students stepped out of the classroom and into the environment recently. Their mission? Get up close and personal with the mangroves they've studied.
In class, we don't get to go out much. We stay inside and write down. But in the boat, we get to actually see jellyfish real life.
All of the science I teach, all of the ecology I teach, not just mangroves, but on the Brack in particular, but involves understanding the theory, lots of hands-on stuff in the classroom, and then to actually go out and experience it, to relate what they have learned in their minds, to see it, to feel it, to touch it, to smell it. All of the things that children do as tactile little guys. What we did this week was examine the mangrove and coastal ecosystems, particularly with a focus in Cayman, and things like how do the plants function. We looked at microscopic creatures, aquatic insects, that sort of thing, from mangrove, pond water. We had a series of activities on birds, whereby the kids can figure out why mangroves are important to birds and how birds use them.
Like sponges, the children quickly absorbed information and easily recited it to anyone who would listen.
We learned about the red mangroves, and the white mangroves, they're not salty.
Only one kind of mangrove has salt on it, and that's the black mangrove.
Like a hurricane comes, if the water washes up on the Cayman Islands, the mangroves protect the Cayman Islands.
When the waves come to the island, the roots are bent easily, so when the waves come against it, the roots hold it back, and the roots don't break.
If we protect the mangroves will protect us.
To make learning fun, they played a seaside version of the popular game I Spot.
We're looking at the mangroves and looking at the plants and the fish and the animal life. We saw some sponges and some oysters.
We saw jellyfish, just not a turtle, and some fish, and a lot of the red and black mangrove roots.
We found crabs, we found jellyfish in the mangroves. There are some fish and animals can't find homes, so they go to the mangroves.
What Cayman's kids are learning about the environment could soon become a part of the curriculum in other overseas territories.
I'm involved in a project which is trying to link environmental education between the various UK overseas territories. So one of the issues in many of the Caribbean territories is the problem of mangrove conservation and destruction through development. So I was particularly interested in coming on this project, on this trip, to see how this project works here, because I think it's something that other Caribbean territories with mangroves can benefit from. I think Cayman has an awful lot to offer to the other UK overseas territories. For one thing, they've got a curriculum which supports teaching environmental education. Rather than it being an add-on, it's built into it, and that's the kind of thing that I would like to see happening in many other places. And this project has been going for a long time. There's a lot of expertise in it, and I know from talking to people here that it has actually changed the attitudes of young people. And of course, if we don't influence young people, then we don't really stand much chance of going forward in the future.
There's about 25 years ago, there was a change of thinking in a lot of educators throughout the world, but particularly in North America. Kids had to get out and experience the world out there, and so we had developed a wetlands program up north, which I came down and I adapted for mangroves here. So using teacher resource materials, using demonstrations, etc., that's what the book's all about. Through that and through the Mangrove Action Project, we have gone to different countries and worked with teachers, educators, people in NGOs to take that sort of focus and that structure and adapt it for their particular scenario.
What's interesting, you can learn about it and you can pass it on to a generation, the children.
The lesson? Preserve mangroves on our islands for future generations. If you would like to get involved, you can contact the Department of Environment or the Cayman Islands National Trust.